I read Astor after that by Anderson Cooper and
Oh,
Catherine Howell,
okay.
which I had seen on the like Goodreads
Yeah.
list, and now I want to read their book about the Vanderbilts
Ooh.
because he wrote that one first, and he's a Vanderbilt. Um, this book was so interesting. Like, I've been like not like fully fascinated with that family, but like anytime I hear about them, I'm always like, oh, like the Astors,
Yeah.
because their like name is all over New York City. So his book really talks about like the literal first like John Jacob Astor, who immigrated from Germany all the way through like the last Astor.
John Jacob.
That was his name. And there were like
Love it.
4 of him. The family tree was insane. It would be like John Jacob the third, and then John Jacob, but they call him Jack. And I was like,
Oh, yeah.
you guys need to come up with new names for your children.
I know. Whenever they become like thirds, fourths, it's just like they sound all the same.
The back half of the book, I constantly had to go back to Family Tree to be like,
Which one are we talking about?
Will? Like, which William Backhouse was he? And which John Jacob Astor was Jack? And like, it was insane. Well, because like, so there's John Jacob Astor and his wife, Sarah Todd, who was like from like well-to-do family.
You have this family tree down now.
I do. I've looked at it so many times. I don't know all the kids. They had like a lot of children. Everyone had a lot of children, but like they had their kids, and then I think it was like the next generation, so their grandkids was where it then like forked, because the whole book mostly was about like, what about like like it's kind of like a chapter per Astor. So there was like John Jacob, and then there was like some part like his child, and then after that it was like John Jacob third and William Backhouse the third had like family tree splits almost.
Okay.
Because like they were both equal Astors, but like they both took very different like roles and feelings towards like the family and the money, and like there was a lot of like infighting between them.
Gotta love it.
It was insane. And like I think William Backhouse II like fucked off to England because he was like, I want no part of this. So there's a whole like branch of Astors over floating around in England, like probably still to this day, but like they were not discussed in this book.
Not part of the family tree?
No. Well, it said partial family tree, which like,
Oh, okay.
to be fair, like this family tree was enough people because one of them had like 9 children. So yes.
9?
I think so. 7? A lot.
I mean, I thought my grandma's had enough kids, and 9's a lot.
They had nothing else to do except like have children,
I suppose.
So it was really interesting, just like kind of how they viewed their like 2 family trees almost, even like under the Astor umbrella. And then it also was so intriguing because Caroline Astor in this is the same as this Astor that's in Gilded Age. So I was like, oh my gosh, I know exactly, like...
That's so cool.
Yeah, and like Carrie, her daughter. Well, because the Russells and the Gilded Age are like loosely based on the Vanderbilts.
Okay.
So like that was kind of touched on, like a little bit of that like kerfuffle. There was like some history kind of baked in, like reading about like the like Opera House riots that took place like right outside the Astors, and how like they were so prominent that they almost started to become bigger than themselves, that a lot of places in New York would take their name even though they really like had nothing to do with it.
Oh.
So like a lot of the streets and like places and buildings like sometimes weren't really theirs, but their names just so prominent like by the time they were down like 4 or 5 generations in the tree, because John Jacob I, he came over with like flutes and like no money. I don't remember anymore like how he converted this, but he somehow like used his like flutes and his like butcher skills, because his dad was a butcher, to basically like make all of his fortune off beaver furs.
Of course, because one does.
They were like totally sought after. He really like locked in the market on this.
Oh.
And like the start of this book was so long ago, like we did not own like most of this country, which was like insane to read, like how fast and long their like dynasty like
that is really
went. Yeah.